Hi everyone, and welcome to Ctrl Alt Craft. Rose with you, and today we are looking at my hanging gardens build for The Sims 4. Now, I mentioned this build in my previous build of the fairy castle, and I sort of mentioned, I built a hanging gardens thing once, and I'd love to do it again, and especially with the Jungle Adventures pack that came out with The Sims recently, it would be really cool to recreate it. So here we are. So this is my second attempt at a hanging gardens build. Now this build starts off as a house. I try to make it a livable house, but I changed it into something else, which I won't spoil for you. You will see for yourself soon enough. So here you can see I'm putting in the windows for the waterfall to try and make it look like the water's spilling over. And I have a little bit of a gripe with the windows because I just think it would be so awesome if we had wider full glass windows. Like we could fill a whole wall with glass without those strips of like window pane in the middle, you know? It bothers me because you can see it through the waterfall, you'll see it soon enough, and I wish we could have like 3 wide or 4 wide windows that were just all glass in the middle, so you didn't have to see you can see them right there. Ugh, so tacky, but I didn't have anything else to do. Anyway, we do the best we can with what we've got in The Sims 4, hey. So the other thing I wanted to mention about this build is a little sort of trick or tactic that I use in my builds is I'll start off with a cube. And you saw me in the beginning, I just did a square right in the middle, another square on top, and then I cut out bits and pieces from it that I thought were necessary. And I find that that's a really great way to build a house. You can either take away from it or add to it, but if you just start with a cube, you know, it's really easy to do. I don't know, I like it. That's the way I like to do things sometimes, so you'll see that from time to time, I'm sure. I love all of these plants and wall plants and just the coverage on the floor. I just love this new pack that we got. I love the plants and the wildlife in it. So the idea is that I just sort of make a temple and then I cover it completely in plants so it's all overgrown. I mean, that's what the hanging gardens are, right? So you'll see that soon enough. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about were a couple of more games that I wanted to bring to my channel. And I wanted to talk about them because they're very low key, like not a lot of people know about them. They're quite underrated. So I just thought I would mention it. One of the games that I want to record for you guys, I want to do like 100% full playthrough of Jak and Daxter. Most people, when they think of Naughty Dog games, Naughty Dog are the developers for Jak and Daxter, I mean immediately you think of what? Uncharted, The Last of Us, Crash Bandicoot. I don't think anyone has ever heard of Jak and Daxter. And it's like a 2000, 2001, 2003 kind of, it's a trilogy of games. There's a few other spin-offs that we won't talk about. We don't talk about those. But the trilogy itself, the main story, is amazing. And it's full of like lore and this whole universe they've created and these sort of elf-like people. And I love it so much. It was my childhood. I was so obsessed with it. And just so many people don't even know it exists. So I want to do a playthrough of it. I've done it twice now. I've played through the first game, Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, and I've done it 100%. I've collected every collectible. I've done the whole game. So I want to do another playthrough just like that for you guys. So we'll try and do that probably end of May, beginning of June. That's the plan. I have to move house yet. And after we move house, I'll look at doing things like that. At the moment, I'm packing away a lot of my consoles. So a lot of my gameplay over the next few weeks will just be PC games. And the other game, which I'm hoping I'll do soon, is Theme Hospital. And so many people don't know that one either. That was like hours on the computer in my childhood. So I don't know what year it was released, but it's this really old hospital simulator, but it's like It's a bit jokey. It's from, I think the developers are Bullfrog, I think that's the name. And it's sort of like a bit of a quip, they're a bit funny, bit strange, maybe a bit gruesome in places, maybe a bit too old and grown up for a 6-year-old to play. But it was good fun, and I thought I'd do a video or two on that maybe, and just show you a little bit of that, because it was free on EA Origin. So sometimes they have what they call them, on the house games, where they're free for you to download and play and keep forever. And I've got like SimCity 2000 and Theme Hospital from this sort of freebie that they do. And one thing that I really would want them to release is The Sims, the original Sims, Sims 1. I would even pay for it. I've wanted to get back into that and just play that really old school Sims for so long. But I bought a copy secondhand off someone else online, and I can't get it to work on my computer. Windows 10 just can't recognize such an old game. And so you have to try and do this like whole window in a window inception thing to try and load up like Windows XP inside Windows 10 so you can try and play it. And I can't get it to work for the life of me. No one online will tell me how to do it. I really don't know what I'm doing. So if you know, let me know in the comments below, but I've been wanting to play that for a while now and I can't. Anyway, I've been talking about so many other things that I haven't been talking about the build. So I don't know where I'm at the moment. I've had a bit of a stuff up with the recording, so I'll have to chop and change that, but I've probably been adding a lot of plants. So yeah, the idea of the hanging gardens is that the whole build is just overtaken in greenery. I've got a lot of lighting on the inside that's trying to be a bit more tribal or traditional. I think we're still at the stage where I'm trying to make it a house, so you'll have to see in a second. But I do make it into something a bit more fun, and I think we're just about to get there, because I leave the game. I don't actually record this all in one hit. I sort of do a little bit at a time, go away, do something else, come back, and it's a way of me just refreshing my mind, getting my head around it all. And here we go. So I've taken out all the walls. I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not making it a house. I'm going to make it a nightclub. So I've just changed it there in the corner. I'm going to add in a bar. We're going to change the downstairs. It's going to be this whole sort of dance space with a bathroom. So I'm really excited to see that come through now. I actually nearly lost this section of the footage because I had some trouble this morning when I was finishing the last of this build. So I hit record. I use GeForce, NVIDIA GeForce, and I hit record, and it lets me select a place to save the video. And what it does is when I select a folder, it creates a subfolder with the name of the game that recording is from. So if it's from The Sims, I'll have Sims 4, and then I click that folder, and inside is all the footage I've ever recorded using NVIDIA and from The Sims 4. So I went to my folder to get this last section of recording, and it wasn't there. I don't know why. I searched, I did a whole computer sweep for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I panicked. I was like, that's like an hour's worth of build, and that's like the whole point. Like, I won't be able to use all this other footage that I've spent hours doing. I made this build for my YouTube channel for nothing. Panicked. I even got my dad to come in and have a look for me. And what it had done is it had saved in a different folder. So there's a separate folder for desktop recordings. So when you record in a game or in a program that NVIDIA doesn't recognize, it creates it as a desktop file. So it's like, oh, you're recording something on the desktop, even though you're not. And for some reason, this one section of footage, it didn't recognize it as from The Sims 4. And so it was recording and saving this file as a desktop file. So I couldn't find it because it wasn't called a Sims 4 file, it was called a desktop file. So I found it. Praise the Lord. So I was able to show you this last section of footage, or else this all would have been for nothing. But that was a bit of a scare this morning, as you can imagine. So I put in like a little lounge section. I'm putting in lots of plants inside. a little sort of area to eat. We've got the bar upstairs, it's a bit more chill. I found it a bit hard to sort of decorate. I was struggling a little bit because I wanted to kind of go a little bit over the top, but not to the point where it was tacky or trashy. But I felt like I just didn't have enough, so I had to keep going and going. But I love the wall hangings and the rugs from the adventure stuff pack, the jungle adventure, sorry. Can I even English? So yeah, I'm doing a little bathroom and then like a little sort of room where you could like maybe touch up your makeup and things like that. And I just think that it's so beautiful, and it just floats into the rest of the world seamlessly, you know, with the plants and everything outside, and this sort of temple look just suits the jungle adventure world. What is it called? Selva Dorada or something, I think the name of the world is called. And it sort of fits in, basically. So you could put this into your own game and it would fit in. And when you're on holidays in this new sim world, you can take your sim there for a night and have a bit of fun. So that'll be good. And I love the rugs we got from, I think that's Cats and Dogs. There's so many good rugs in that pack. And laundry day stuff. Oh my gosh. So lately, they've sort of taken a bit more of a bohemian or I guess traditional vibe in a lot of their items and stuff in the games, because we've had so many modern packs and I'm not a modern person. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but I'm really over it. Can we have something a bit more my style? So I'm really glad that they've started doing a few more of these sorts of things. I love the rustic boho look. That's my favorite. My most exciting thing about the move, other than, you know, top internet, is being able to decorate my own place. So that's pretty exciting. Adding more plants inside, trying to keep it a bit fun, a bit tropical. It's coming along really nicely. I also, later on you'll see that I add the flamingos like I did in the last one. I just think they add a bit more realism to it, like in a photo, in a still photo, it's like, wow, there's like sort of exotic animals chilling out at this place. So I think it adds a touch of niceness to it. And that top section, I think I wanted it to look a bit like a VIP section, which is why I put that sort of barricade along next to the stairs. You obviously can't use it, but it's just like, you know, for show, like you could close it off for VIP exclusive only people if you wanted to. Wow, this build is going on and on. Recordings are so long and it's hard to find things to talk about all the time. I've actually been watching Outside Xbox and Outside Extra Dungeons and Dragons videos. So they do live Dungeons and Dragons shows and they are so funny. I love them so much. So I've been really enjoying those. I was watching those while building this. I was watching some Life is Strange sort of people online talking about different theories they have about that game, which I've never played, but I'm a little bit interested in, I'll be honest. It intrigues me. So, yeah. And we're putting in some more plants, and some more plants, and some more plants. I'm putting in little fountains as well. I mean, I want it to look like it once could have been a temple, that someone's gone, hey, let's do that up into a nightclub. I thought that'd be a bit of fun. And I'm trying to make the waterfall look as realistic as possible, which is hard to do in The Sims, but we'll see how I go. It was also hard to do in The Sims 3 as well, because you could have two different levels of ponds, but if you tried to make them connect, there was no waterfall. If you tried to lower a side of the hill to make the water run out, it would just bring the water level down, and it wouldn't run out and over. And you used to have to use like little fountain tools to make it look like a waterfall coming down. I remember that. I do miss some of those landscaping tools we had in The Sims 3. They were pretty good. But I think it sort of pushes us to be a bit more creative in The Sims 4, and I don't mind that. I think some people do a really good job of trying to create split leveling and things like that, hillsides and all that kind of thing. So yeah. I'm just putting in the final plants now. We've done all the building inside, so we're just touching it up, making it look overgrown. And I mean, the whole point is that it's the hanging gardens, not like just a temple, so it's got to be absolutely covered in plants. And I think we're nearing the end of the build now, so we should be heading into screenshots shortly. So the hanging gardens, we've got the flamingos in the front, we've sort of got the mist coming off the waterfall, there's a bit more of a close-up of the front, we've got the sides with more flamingos. I just love that. A bit more of a close-up of the waterfall at the back, all overgrown. It's just beautiful. A little shot from the top there, so if you were eating from the top you'd have a beautiful view. This is the inside of the bar. This is the dance floor at the bottom. Some Sims having some fun there. And here are our screenshots from above. So thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye!